Well, I was going to ask you about the latest controversy in the bodybuilding world, and Phil Heath's comments about Arnold.
Arnold's legs. Yeah, that's pretty disrespectful, wasn't it? You know, it's like, I've actually seen a few posts that Phil's put on to people where he's been disrespectful, but, you know, okay, he's won a Mr Olympia a couple of times, Phil Heath. He's never going to be an Arnold. He's never going to, you know, Arnold brought bodybuilding to the mainstream. You know, you can go anywhere around the world, just because he's a movie star too now, but before, everyone knows who Arnold Schwarzenegger is. You go around and ask who the hell's Phil Heath, unless you're in a gym, nobody knows who Phil Heath is. So more people know who Lee Priest is, and I've never won the Olympia, so his comments were pretty disrespectful. And for his day, Arnold, okay, he didn't have the most massive legs, but the legs he had and the calves he had were pretty good for his body. So, you know, and to me, Arnold's physique still looks better than Phil Heath's. Heath's might be a bit blockier and freakier, but you know, to make comments like that's just totally disrespectful. If he ever wins an Arnold Classic, ever does an Arnold Classic, Arnold should have a chat to him on the microphone.
I think too is comparing different eras, like saying, you know, someone was
Didn't I beat Phil Heath too in the best arms in the history of the sport?
But
yeah, he might say that about Arnold's legs. Will he say that about my arms?
But the emphasis back then wasn't so much on the legs as you know.
No, it's just judged more on, like you said, the physique, you know, proportion wise and stuff like that, and yeah, they're going more for the freakier type physique. And it's like I've always said, if Arnold was born in this era and had to compete with the guys today, with Arnold's mentality and his work ethic, I think he'd still be Mr Olympia, because he would do what he had to do to be the best today, if that's the case. So if Arnold was around today, training for to be Mr Olympia, he would beat Phil Heath. Because he would do what he had to do to beat Phil Heath, because to me, he has a much better work ethic and, like I said, mentality than Phil Heath will ever have. So and he's got more charismatic, and more, like I said, people will like him a lot more. And that's not because Arnold's white either and German. So, like I said, Phil Heath, I've heard from a lot of people, is losing a lot of respect just due to his arrogance and the way he is. So, simple as that. When Phil Heath retires from bodybuilding, yes, he's won a few Mr Olympias. People in the sport will be like, yes, Phil Heath's done this, but then he will be forgotten. Whereas Arnold will not be forgotten. Simple as that.
Yeah, and also
so stick that in your legs, Phil Heath, and smoke it.
He was the best of his time, so he didn't need to have bigger legs.
No. No, like Tom Platz had big legs and didn't do him much good. You know, he still was a freak back then, and people still loved him, and still to this day, Tom Platz is very popular. That's the thing. See, these guys like Arnold today are still popular. Tom Platz is still popular, and all this type of thing. When Phil Heath retires, I'd like to see in 20 years' time if anyone would still like to see Phil Heath. I don't think they will. The only person who will be seeing Phil Heath in 20 years' time after he retires will be his parole officer. Simple as that.
Phil, that's Lee on medication, so
disclaimer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, what he said about Arnold was totally stupid.